All right. Hi, everyone. Hello. Hi. Again. Thank you all for going through the last 3 days with us, for being here for this closing ceremony. A little misleading because we still have another day. So we are closing out our time at the National Press Club, our time with panelists, with the trainings, our time to learn about this issue, because tomorrow is when we'll be lobbying on this issue. Are people excited for that? Awesome. Well, we're going to go over a couple things for tomorrow. I want to hear from some of y'all. But before we do that, we want to discuss the fact that from many people on the stage, we heard that while we're here to talk about community gun violence, and while we're here to talk about one manifestation of gun violence in our ask, there are so many ways that gun violence affects all of us, and so many ways that we hear that gun violence has occurred. And in that spirit, we want to hold some space for a school shooting that occurred just earlier today at a Nashville Christian school. And in order to get us settled into some silence, I'm going to invite my friend Muan, who is our advocacy team's organizer, to talk to us and, like I said, settle us into some silence. So thank you, Muan.
Thanks so much, Larissa. Hi, everyone. My name is Muan, and I work on FCNL staff as the advocacy team's organizer. I work remotely, so like many of you, I actually flew into DC this weekend to be here with all of you amazing advocates who have been working so diligently to address gun violence. I live in Nashville, Tennessee, in a neighborhood called Green Hills, and at 10:13 this morning, the Nashville police responded to an active shooter in a local school. This school serves preschool through 6th grade. This school is located 7 minutes away from my front door. It is just down the road from the mall where I worked this past summer before I got my offer at FCNL. And it is also where my grandmother goes every Monday evening for her Bible study, which of course was scheduled for tonight. 6 people in my community lost their lives today, and 3 of those were children under the age of 13. So this weekend, we've obviously learned that this event is tragically, maddeningly, infuriatingly not unique to many people in this room. There have been more mass shootings than days in 2023, according to the data, and that is not even counting the instances of community gun violence that go and underreported. So we've learned and explored how we as young constituents cannot and should not stop in our efforts to find solutions to gun violence, and these solutions should be born not out of fear or hatred, but rather a shared love of community and a shared love of human dignity and a shared desire to be the generation that breaks these toxic cycles. So I want to invite us to hold a minute or two of silence to recognize the lives lost today in Nashville, in Green Hills, and before today in communities around the country, and to honor them in their memory and to commit ourselves as we move ahead in this work. So please be with me for a few moments of reflection. right, I want to thank everyone for holding space with my community today, and I'll pass it back to Larissa. Thank you, Larissa.
Thank you, Juan. So we actually want to share a video with all of you that was recorded by a representative who wanted to be here, but unfortunately could not be here. But he wanted to be here enough to record this video and give you all some words of encouragement. So there he is. We're going to hear from Maxwell Frost, who is the first member of Gen Z to be elected to Congress, which is a huge accomplishment. He is from Florida 10. Do we have Florida people here? Okay, well, I saw a silent hand. It's okay, you don't have to shout, but they're over there. And he comes from a background of gun violence prevention advocacy, working with March for Our Lives, for example, and you'll hear a little bit about his story and, like I said, some words of encouragement for our lobbying tomorrow. So I will hand things over to Representative Frost.
This is Congressman Maxwell Frost, proudly representing Florida's 10th Congressional District. It's Orlando, Florida, Central Florida, and I'm sorry I couldn't be there today, but glad to tap in with y'all virtually and super proud of the work that you're doing, especially as it relates to community violence intervention, which has a special place in my heart. And for people who don't know, I got involved in politics a decade ago when I was 15 years old. I went to an arts middle school and high school. I'm a jazz drummer. Before every jazz band concert, my best friends and I would go to this restaurant across the street and just load up on a ton of junk food. And I remember the night specifically because we're sitting there, we're eating, and there's a silence that fell across the restaurant. We kind of looked around and then looked at the television screens and saw that somebody walked into an elementary school in Newtown, Connecticut and murdered 20 children and 6 teachers. And it had a huge impact on my life. And I ended up going at 15 years old to the memorial here in DC, and it was there that meeting the families. I remember sitting around a pool with a ton of young people from elementary school, high schoolers, middle schoolers that were impacted by the shooting. And across from me was a guy named Matthew Soto who lost his sister Vicky in the shooting. And I just remember this moment specifically because seeing Matthew talk about his sister, seeing, I think he was 16, like a 16-year-old with the demeanor of a 60-year-old, talking about his sister who was murdered for just going to school, changed my life forever. And I remember it was that night that I dedicated the rest of my life to fighting for a world where no one would have to feel the pain I saw Matthew feel and I saw those families feel that week I was there. And that's why I got involved in gun violence. 3 years later, I'd become a survivor of gun violence myself due to an incident in downtown Orlando, Halloween. And 3 months before my incident, armed bigotry and hate would come and claim the lives of 49 angels at Pulse nightclub. I went on to work at March for Our Lives as their national organizing director, and gun violence is one of my top priorities. And community violence intervention has to be at the heart of the solution here. Giving resources to the community, because violence starts in the community, it's going to end in the community. And we need to ensure that folks have those resources and that our perception of what public safety means needs to be broader than what it is today. And the people, citizens, need to be at the core of it. So again, I appreciate y'all. Please just continue that advocacy for community violence intervention. I'm right alongside of you in that fight, and have a great day. Thank you.
Okay, so I'll ask one more time. Who is ready to lobby tomorrow? Is there anyone in this room that lobbied today? Okay, a couple people. Give me some thumbs. Did it go well? Did you feel good about it? Yeah? Okay, good. All right, so I want to see how prepared everyone is. If y'all are listed as the note taker for your meeting, can you make some noise, put your hands up in the air, something? Okay, note takers. Y'all are gonna make sure that we have the information we need from your lobby visit, so thank you. What about delegation leaders, so people who will actually facilitate the entire meeting? Where are the leaders? Awesome. Okay, now what about storytellers? Who's going to tell their story tomorrow at their visit? And then everyone else, just make another round of applause. Remember that even if you don't have a speaking role, even if you're not telling your story, you're not asking a question, but you're there, your presence will be felt. It will be seen. And the fact that you're on that visit is still going to influence that legislator. So I just want to encourage those of you who don't have speaking roles, your presence is still powerful, and your presence on that visit is necessary. The more people in these visits, the better. And the more obvious we make it that this is a priority for our communities, right? So thank you all. I want to end us out on a note of what was your favorite part of Spring Lobby Weekend. So I'm going to ask 3 people to share, and we have someone, thank you, Bobby, mic running in the back. So if you'd like to share, please raise your hand or wave something around and I can call on you. What was your favorite part about the last 3 days, knowing that we're lobbying tomorrow? Would anyone like to share? Oh, sorry, right here in the front. Thanks, Giselle.
Hello, everyone. I'm Deborah from New York, and my 3rd time at Spring Lobby Weekend. And aside from learning about this really important issue, my favorite part is always meeting all the great advocates from across the country, hearing what you guys are doing in your respective states, and just the power that we all have when we come together.
Is that a hand in the back? All right, looks like a black sweater maybe with like a red logo.
Hello, my name is Shakaya, and I'm from Baltimore, Maryland. I would say the best things of these 3 days I've been here is meeting new people and hearing everybody's story. It was very impactful and emotional, and I'm just happy to be here and fight for what's right and at least decrease the violence as much as we can. Thank you.
All right, someone from, yes, there's a ball cap there, white hat.
Hi, everyone. My name's Cameron. I'm from Oregon, one of the 2 here. Woo woo. Except for Vlad. Vlad is number 3. Well, Vlad is number 1.
Represent.
But I just wanted to say thank you to all of you. It's been so incredible getting to hear all of your stories, and we've had such incredible guests here. It's an absolute honor to be here and to learn how to lobby alongside all of you. You all have very impactful voices, and it's just been really wonderful getting to travel across the country and just see so many incredible people and get to see what it looks like to be a lobbyist. So I just really appreciate it. Thank you all.
Okay, just to keep myself accountable to this side of the room, was there a hand that I missed? Okay, yes, right there. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Brittany Chrisman. I'm from Wilmington College in Ohio. And my favorite parts of this weekend were Nicole from Safe Streets. I think her story was really inspirational. It really touched my heart. And also Representative McGovern that came today. I think that was wonderful to meet a representative who cared enough to come out and speak to all these young lobbyists, not just in his office, but to actually come out here and talk to us and answer questions was wonderful.
Thank you. So a couple things to remember for tomorrow. First of all, we will have a 9 a.m. keynote tomorrow at the Lutheran Church of the Reformation. So that is our second location. That address is in the program. It is on the online schedule. We will have breakfast there. We will have lunch there later in the day. So make sure that you are arriving in time for those things for the keynote, and that way you can head out to your lobby visits from the church. It is like a less than 10-minute walk to the Capitol grounds, so it is really the perfect location for us to have our lobbying on Tuesday, kind of our headquarters, right? Another reminder for everyone, we've talked a little bit about the Advocacy Corps throughout this weekend. I cannot stress enough how unique this opportunity is in our network. So many of our programs require you to come to DC, but we know that change starts in our communities and must happen in our communities, right? So we train Advocacy Corps organizers to organize their own communities, to lobby from their home states, from their home districts for 10 months. Is the current Advocacy Corps here right now? Can you wave or stand or make some noise? You're kind of spread out. Okay, over there, there's some over here. Awesome. So this next year, we will be working on violence interrupters. So exactly what we've been talking about here this weekend, we will continue that work for the next year, basically, with this program. The other thing I want to say is that right after this, we will be having an optional photo opportunity at the White House. So we will not be entering the White House outside of the White House. We will be walking from here. It's less than a 10-minute walk to the White House. We did this last year. We got a group photo. It turned out great. And I cannot see with these lights. Okay, there. Someone in the back. That is Wesley. He is holding up a Love Thy Neighbor sign. So he will be taking everyone to the White House along with our photographer, Dag, who might also be back there or waiting outside. Oh, right there. Thank you, Dag. So right after we're done here, please feel free to join them to walk to the White House, get that photo, and we will disperse from there. So you do not have to come back here. Please, actually, you cannot come back here. So please make sure that you take all of your stuff so that you can go back to your hotel, back to your housing from the White House itself. See you all at 9 a.m. tomorrow. Congratulations.